do have some pretty good early game kind of team fighty pushing heroes with the DK, but this is going to be, I think, a bit of a slower paced game for Fnatic.
Yep. This game they're a bit limited by the DK form, right? That's the long cooldown that helps towers, but maybe Helm with the Dominator is just so strong when you group up on it, you don't even need.
Yeah, maybe. That Helm is did come out potentially. They do have the DJ support Leshrac, by the way, which Leshrac has seen a renaissance. Essentially, he's come back into the meta. He is now a viable support, played in the 5 position. You get your E button, you hit your E button a lot. You get your Q button, you hit your E with your Q, and then you kill heroes, and it's great. And you dance. You got the dancing pony, the disco pony for Leshrac, and it's great.
He's selling.
30 seconds to battle.
Is he the only one in the game? I think he is, right? That's depressing. The way this freaking disruptor mount looks, it might as well be a taunt. I didn't see it from the back. I've only seen it from the front. Then I looked at it from the back for the first time, and I was like, all right, it's even grosser than I thought. It's this fat thing walking around with his tongue hanging out. His tongue always hangs out. Why is his tongue hanging out? I don't understand. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. I don't want to break the immersion of some of the people watching. Well, all right then. After we should running at Envy. Envy will take a couple of auto attacks, but he's fine. They'll dual lane top for now with Universe and the Slardar, the Iron Shell. So they're not going to maybe get the most experience, but for now at the start, they should be able to do a lot of damage even with level 1 Iron Shell. Be fine.
Yep. This bottom lane is very interesting. Queen of Pain. Double right clicks, long range right clicks too.
Yeah. And this is where the starter being down here would have been nice. So it is going to be the Quap bottom instead of the Quap mid. And so the Omni Knight mid against Abed. I think Skylark's probably pretty happy about this.
Definitely good lane match for him, but I imagine both good.
Yeah.
It's not really going to be long. It is true damage, but you've got so much regen to work with, and both melees just have falling blades. Both heroes.
Yeah, although Skylark is missing out pretty ridiculously. He's only got 1 CS to the DK6. Probably shouldn't happen.
You have to pick up the fate.
Alright, there it is. Okay, it's fine. He's recovered.
How's this top lane working? Slardar's moved down. This is what they did last game. Pi got
yeah.
Universe decent start, and then they try to support.
Yeah, he's going to have to be against the Tiny, but he has Iron Shell, so he'll be able to get CS one way or the other. Getting experience might be a little tricky. Did they make a go into Afromush or Faded? These are not the easiest hero skills, although Faded does have no blink. He's got the Shadow Strike level 1. So the threat of the initiation from Fnatic is pretty good. They already have 3 lanes going pretty well for them. And this start for Universe has actually done a lot for them, I think.
Universe essentially has a free lead, right? It's the bounty rune as well.
Although he is going to get glimpsed into an avalanche, he's going to surge, and then Yol, who could have gotten the other rune, is just going to have to watch. So the Thunderstrike and 1 more auto attack might kill him now. Good salve from Universe. And Yol has to... Yeah, that could have been a lot more dangerous, but he played it pretty much perfectly there for Universe, and he actually gets both bounty runes, and he survives, and he's up to level 3 now.
It's like calculated risk, right?
Yeah, he pulled out the graphing calculator. He did some... Exactly. Yeah, that's true. Darkseer is pretty high armor. I'm unkillable. Speaking of who's not unkillable, it's Aftermush. He's dead. I missed it completely. I suppose I should have expected bottom to be the action lane. I'm not sure how I missed it, but it did get missed.
There's a lot of kill potential for level 2s. Right, you have the Lightning Storm, Slardar, Crush.
They just need to be in the right position, and then maybe they can even kill Faded with, even if like he has blink. If they crush and like Lightning Storm, or rather Splitter of Lightning Storm waveform, it might be enough damage to kill him even if he has blink available, which is kind of scary to think about.
A lot of damage. It's nice that the you know, you'd think the support here was Lightning Storm sets up.
Yeah, it's a pretty good combination. It's still early, and they're not really getting anything else done across the map, whereas Yol is rotated mid. Purification will come out. He does have stick charges. The Thunderstrike is going to be there as well, but I don't... Maybe the Glimpse. They do have it. Maybe they get this kill? I think actually they might. He's going to breathe fire onto Skylark and try to... Oh, look at these body blocks from Yol, actually. He's doing... That was an insane set of body blocks. He blocked him for a good 20 seconds, and they still can't kill him because Skylark has no mana. He was a... he's like 5 gold away from his soul ring, but of course it wouldn't have been there. You got to find this kill on Faded. He has blink. He's going to use it. All right. And they're actually slowing down this Warfling. Envy's sitting on 15 last hits. And you look at the other lanes, they're having a great time between the two of the lanes with Fnatic, but Envy could have more, I think, at the start of this game.
Yeah, definitely. But I think now is when it gets... Flashback has 3 gold, instant trouble. Yep.
Dead. Like, dead. Freaking stupid now just punk flops to the ground and then he melts into the earth and it's just... all right, I don't want to harp on it too much. It actually looks cool. It's just weird. It's just freaky. It's not stupid. It's freaky.
Very spooky.
Spooky indeed. We're not even in October yet. A little early for that. Get into the summer. Dragon Tail on the Skylark on the Omni Knight. Omni Knight catching up. He was a little bit behind, but after some of the forced aggression placed onto Abed, he's going to have to back up for the time being. Universe is farming the enemy jungle. He might be dead with a glimpse. Aji's here. He's got the Avalanche toss. He actually gets the surge off. The Avalanche comes in, and Pylite Eye was ready to go with the stun. Toss hits onto Pylite Eye. I can't believe they actually didn't get that kill. They still might with the Omni Knight. He needs a stun. Universe, he needs to surge away, and he does. And because of that, he actually survives. Although the tower hits will do some work.
Shot? Oh.
He has like 8. He has 9 armor, like you said. So he's good to go.
Goodness.
He's a thank you man. This Dark Series gonna go Shrine too. And Universe is working. He's well on his way to this some of the Dominator. He's actually like not too far. 800 goldish, I would say.
Working the offense, making lots of rotations happen. Clutch gamers just constantly harassing him. Doing the exact same thing. Goes in his last time.
Yeah, but now he's like 3rd in net worth though, so he's finally getting back into it.
It's not horrible, but it's not free fall, right? That's the hope. In some.
Maybe they can. I mean, Envy will probably still find farm. Aji's gonna get run at by the Darkseer and the Pylite Eye Slaughter, but I don't. They're gonna die this. Universe thought about it. Aji just happens to have 1,000,000 HP, so I don't actually know if they can do anything. The TP rotations are gonna come, and Universe needs to back away. That was a very heavy commitment that I didn't think they were going to make, and they might pay for it too. It's one of those rare mistakes that you would see Fnatic make. They dive into the tier 1 tower. I think they just wanted to force the TPs. I don't think they thought they were going to die for it. Although Universe is still alive for now, but not for much longer. And 3 hits him, and Aji didn't have Mush combined to get the kill with a glimpse set up by Yol. So a lot of TP rotations, but it's really worth it to get that kill onto the Darkseer.
Space for Envy, right? Now he has 40 damage over Queen of Pick. Fine.
Yeah, Pylite Eye is getting some experience. He's actually got his Tranquils now, so Blink Dagger is going to be the next item on the list. And if he can get to that item, things get critical. Just needs to make sure he uses it a bit better than they used it last game for Clutch Gamers. They didn't really do a good job using that Blink when they revealed it. Pylite Eye trying to find Yol. Maybe he gets this kill on his own. They have the Iron Shell. It's a lot of damage. They need another Crush. Glimpse is off cooldown, but it's not in time. It just came off. He wouldn't have been able to turn around even if he had it a second earlier. I think he's still dead. Pylite Eye's on the run. That's a free solo kill. I guess he did have the help of Universe. He actually got the kill because of the Iron Shell, but that's the combination they were looking for, I suppose.
Yep. Here for the support heroes, right? Yol. No reason at all.
Nice split earth on some of the Dark Willow, but they've got the glimpse back on Envy. They don't have Static Storm after Mush is dead. That glimpse actually did more harm than good. It essentially killed after Mush, I think. If that glimpse isn't there, I think Envy's probably fine.
Envy knows it's not good. He just didn't on no health.
Oh, what a split earth. He just got a double kill. Alright. This game's looking like a repeat of Game 1, albeit maybe a slower version of that game. Like,
and it's coming in hot for the mid game with the double damage one.
Skylark has no mana also. Like, does it with Soul Ring again. They need a Dragon Tail. They have Dragon Tail and Soul Ring Breathe Fire. Skylark knows something is up. Envy is full Agi at this point. He has 300 HP. And
never to go full.
I've heard that as well. And the purification, which was stolen? No? Well, he's dead anyway.
That's why I've been told never to go full.
Yeah, that was not... I mean, you got the kill, but was it really worth it? Now you're dead forever. You missed out on the farm.
It's the play that the one position doesn't want to make, right? If they die for that. If the offlaner happens to die for it or for support, totally fine. Tiny combo. Does more than 400 damage.
It's pretty strong. Yeah, it definitely does more than... I think the toss alone does, like, some ridiculous amount, so...
Yeah.
He was the one that got 350 HP. It was one auto attack and a toss, and he's dead. And I know you want to get that kill on Skylark, but my God.
First creep on the Yol?
Yeah, I've seen this movie before, but I don't know if they get the kill Yol. They've got the repel. That doesn't do anything. The repel literally just used it. Now it's on cooldown for 20 seconds. They get off the GA. They really want to take this tower. Skylark's going to pop the purification, and now his spells are on cooldown. And they know it, and they want to go on Skylark. He is pretty tanky. They have the Slithering Crush back up for Pilot out. They keep coming in for Yol as he's back and respawn. Waveform's up in 3. They have the mana. They need a purification. They get it off just in time, but Skylark should still fall. Maybe not. Actually, the Sonic Wave, that is a double kill for Faded.
No.
Skylark baits it out, and Yol sets it up with a kinetic field. There's no way that should happen. And I cannot believe they turned 2 there.
What this... We're having flashbacks of that popular Never Go Full Agility video here. You want to look real cool in front of your friends, you know? Look at how much damage you can do, and then boom.
The difference between this and that video is that it was an invoker and he kept fountain camping him. It was so funny. It's just funny to think about. He's just sitting there raging because the invoker just snipes him. He knows where he's going to respawn every time. And he just hits him with a perfectly timed stun strike. But you're right, though. It is similar. It is Envy. You need to relax, buddy. You don't have quite the farm you had in the last game. You're not topping the net worth. That's the Tiny now. You know, you want to get the Lincoln Sphere. He wants to make things happen, but you might want to just sit back, let your team push other lanes, and then you just sit back and farm like you did all of last game. Although I do think they can kill Skylark here. I think they just want the tower, actually. Can they get both tier 1s? That'd be pretty critical for... He's going to get denied by Ajit, probably. Yep. Do they get the tower top then? They want Skylark. He has no mana, actually. He does have his Soul Ring in 2. He's actually going to stick up away from his out. There's the Surge. The Purification does half of Envy's HP pool because he's at 500 HP. He likes to live dangerously. There's that.
So, alright, Envy did happen to die back-to-back, you know, trying to make some plays, but now everything's A-okay, right? Fnatic have taken 2 towers on the side lanes. This gives heroes like DJ support Lashrak some room to just keep on farming. Pi is also pretty darn farmed. I mean, just look at the network difference in the support heroes. Like, Oriole, Disruptor, triple digits, and Fnatic supports quite farmed in comparison. The space they've given moved, Universe taking the tower, and they've done the same thing down bottom. And now it's time for the waves out taunts. DJ's level 8.
Twice as high as Pilot Eye has on the Slardar. Kind of surprising, actually, but I guess EJ can farm a bit easier than the Slardar can, who just has to rely on his auto attacks and on his Slithering Crush. They're not really relying on that Blink Dagger, or like trying to get that Blink Dagger as much as I thought they would for Pilot Eye. They do get a kill bottom, by the way, which I saw on the track. That's a pretty easy pickup. But this Blink is still a ways away at 12 minutes. I thought they might have more farm for him, but not the case. Could be dangerous. Envy, did he have a repel up? He did, I think. Maybe not. He did not get off. Sonic Wave did a lot of damage coming in. They have the status from there. I thought he got the repel up in time. He did not. That will lead into another tower deny for IG. A nice play. It's the glimpses that are really becoming an issue for Envy. This is exactly what we talked about in the draft. Disruptor is a much better hero dealing with the Morphling than the Doom was in the last game.
Envy trying to make the cute play there to repel himself in the on-night. You know, you can actually waveform during the glimpse as well. And then it acts just like dodge down.
Another Blink in 3. Split Earth. Nice. Lightning Storm. Pulse Nova. This is the issue with this Shrek hero. He does so much damage. Especially a squishy hero like Bob's not going to survive against it.
Making the transition. He's turning into that carry.
You know what? And I think that's fine. I think that's fine given the circumstances of the game. You've not really... You have yet to lose a tier 1 tower, Like, that's the one thing. There's a Tiny on the team. They're not doing any pushing with him. They're just trying to react to Fnatic's moves. They haven't done anything proactively other than kill Envy like 2 or 3 times, which is good, but it gives the rest of the heroes at Fnatic a lot of room to work with, especially this Darkseer and this Dragon Knight, who's now working on the Shadow Blade. He's actually got it, I think.
It needs to be the kills in conjunction with Power Play. That's when you can start to acquire some map control, some more farm on the side of Clutch Gamers. Alright, they're making a smoke play up top. Anju is smoked up. He has Blink Dagger. Envy sitting on 400 HP.
We're going to watch him die pretty quickly right now. Oh, he actually got it off.
Just kidding, Mark.
He actually got it off. He might actually live because of this. They have no Sonic Wave, and he's just going to wait for him. He's fine. They could blink it and chase, but I think that's a dangerous play if Fnatic was to go for it. They get the glimpse, though, onto the Leshrac. Maybe they find this kill. He's going to pop the Edict. He's like, Yol, that's a yummy hero. Pilot Eye has a haste rune. Goodbye, Yol. Probably. Splitter, Lightning Storm, they don't even need it. Wait for him. Envy finds the kill. So instead of Envy dying, he actually gets a kill out of it. Meanwhile, Ovid's Shadow Blades, he sees everything. He's seen it all. And he's going to see more. And VP Fate is going to be the one that's going to have to deal with it. He almost missed that crush. Luckily enough, they had enough damage anyway.
In fact, got the photon right on the second ladder.
I really wish there was like some sort of instrument they had in Dota that, like, not the rangefinder, you know, like a more advanced version of the rangefinder. I'm not sure why you would need that personally, because the rangefinder functions well on its own, but still.
Usually for an ability like a Crush, where it has like an AoE around you, you know, you just walk up towards and hold your mouse over the sword and crush you in the circle, and then you just pressure.
Really? Is it that common? Like people actually having over it? Huh.
Well, I don't know exactly that common, but I do.
Do you remember back in the day when like you could have the blink range just casually when you were playing Dota?
Oh yeah, had that surge. I didn't even like
yeah, he might be in trouble. Purification. He's trying to kill his stack. Can he get some of it? He wanted to get like 1 or 2 of the creeps, and I think he got 1 of them. Not worth it. That was Zelda Dragon form too. Bit of a questionable decision, but it's kind of weird because they changed all these like quality of life things, like adding levels to like you could see other people's levels instead of having to check the scoreboard and stuff like that. So it's weird that they ended up going back on that like blink thing, the blink range.
Well, the big debate about that whole thing was Admiral Bulldog, right? Using that for his bear range.
Oh,
he
right.
knows the exact perfect leash range of the bear. There's a whole lot of it. Back on the pie, but for the brush off.
I suppose when it's something like that, people get frustrated by it. Galark is going to get the CP off. Static Storm is there. I think they're going to try to take the fight. Pilot Eye and Universe are going to die to the step home. That is a lot of damage, but they're going to turn it though. The more plays here, they've got the waveform, and there's no Omni Knight to turn it around. So it is a 2-for-1. They did get the glimpse back on the Leshrac, who was trying to chase after Yol. Envy does have a waveform and 2, but he doesn't have the mana for it, so he can't get up to the high ground. Even if he did, it's not going to matter. So, I mean, at least they got something out of it, but that Bedlam damage is pretty insane. And it's going to stop Pi from getting his Blink Dagger, which he was very close to.
Yep, they actually managed to blow through Darkseer's pipe there, too. That was the Bedlam on top of all the AoE damage and the Static Storm, and then the Terrorize combo. A whole bunch of pipe went out for them.
Yeah, BKME might be a good item in this game for these core heroes, especially.
That's
throwing that out there. Envy still doesn't have his Lincoln Sphere. At this point in the last game, he had Lincoln Sphere and like an E-Blade. The game was essentially over at this point, actually. It's a much different game, though.
Yep, the big momentum difference, right? Like last game, it was just keep up with the Visage, Helm of the Dominator, knock down all these towers, and bad and follow up. This game a bit more farmy, but Envy got a lot of health. He's sitting on 2,000 health. He's not going to die on this.
He shouldn't. They have the curse for round, but he's got to wait for himself to safety. And he's fine.
Very
God, the new morph is so much better than the, it wasn't even called morph. The,
it was,
Shapeshift?
Replicate.
No, not Shapeshift. That's Lycan. Replicate, that's the one. It was so silly. Oh, I send illusion bottom. I'm gonna farm top. Okay, now I'm going bottom. Great. This is a much better ability.
Quite a high skill capability too. Not the easiest.
Yeah, we've seen Envy do some, I don't want to say miraculous, but pretty cool things. Pilot Eye has picked himself up a Blink Dagger. This was the timing window Clutch Gamers really missed out on in the last game, but it's a much different game between now and then. You know, you don't need to rely on just the Pi initiation for Fnatic in order to win these fights, although it certainly would help in some of these engagements. Not going to be all on him to find these engagements and find these fights.
Sentry, so they want to keep some vision control down, but Ajit looking in the middle, there's the glimpse.
We're going to find the Avalanche Dark Willow top instead. Good rush right as the Shadow Realm came out, so they'll trade supports, and it was the 2 cores of Fnatic getting involved. I didn't see who was getting involved for Clutch Gamers there, but well, all right. They're going to try to find Yule. Centaur Conqueror Stomp. It actually hits, but they can't chase it to the kinetic field. They do have the glimpse back, although here's Pilot Eye, and Yule is dead. Just like that. So Fnatic are still holding on. They have a 2K lead, but, you know, things have slowed down a little bit. We've gotten a couple kills here and there, but it's just a lot of pickups. There's no real objective taking happening.
Yep, it's a slow game for Favors Fnatic, for right. There's no true one position on the side of Budget Gamers. They're the ones that wanted to play the super fast fighting game over. I guess that's for the DK stun.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Corrosive Haze, removing that's going to be critical against this Morphling. Otherwise, he just auto-attacks you and you die because you have no armor. I'm curious to see when this next, like, it's been a lot of pickups, but we haven't seen Roche. We haven't seen a tower taken in a while. When's that next moment for these teams to go in and try to find these objectives?
And I imagine it's as soon as Fnatic makes some gank happen. They do have the Slaughter, tons of physical damage with, and even like that double or triple ion shell on top of Roche, pretty significant damage. But for Fnatic, it's still go time. Abed super farm, Sanjin Yasha Shadow Blade on Soul Ring creds, tanky, Darkseer, double siege creep down in the bottom lane thanks to the Dominator, and it's pretty much solo with it. I'm not defending it at all.
Nah, they're going to try for the trade, but this is a favorable trade for the Radiant team for Fnatic. Envy's in the tree lines. He wants to take a fight here, but you're fighting into GA. You're fighting into everything that Clutch Gamers has right now. They're all in this top lane. They've taken the tier 1 tower. There is a smoke from Fnatic. They're wrapping all the way around. They're going to walk high ground. Here comes the Elder Dragon form. They'll drop the Sentry or the Super Shadow Blade. Envy's fine to get up the Dragon Tail. Yule's dead. He can't get all his ultimate. They're right. About to come out. Hits onto 3. The Sonic Wave comes up. They have the Split Earth, and actually Skylark's still in trouble. They'll pop the Lotus Orb. He doesn't want to use GA yet. They want to keep chasing it. They'll ride it, but it's so hard. But they have the toss, though, into the Dragon Tail. What a play. The Freeze Fire, the Split Earth. He can't get his abilities off. And just like that, they find a pretty critical kill. And they might find more. Pilot Eye still in. Looking for Slithering Crush, but instead, Ajit's the one to find it. They can't quite be there in time. Abed's still running it with a Silver, or excuse me, the Shadow Blade. He's found Ajit. They're going to keep going. Dragon Tail about to come out. They need the rest of the team here, though. Instead, they want to go for this Queen of Pain. And the Dragon Tail comes out, but too little too late. Abed knowing, saying, okay. They've got to back you back, though. Yule coming in. They should have attacked them if they want to use it. They're going to pop it, but Abed's very tanky. Beta's going to try to man fight. They've got the Curse Crown. This is a lot of damage. The Universe is sitting here. He has the pipe up in 12 seconds. But I understand going for more there for Fnatic. They just couldn't quite get it done.
Yep. Oh, I definitely didn't think that they'd be able to kill the Tiny. Maybe they could have, maybe they couldn't have. Not sure. You know, Envy, again, this guy's a genius. He plays that team fight in the very beginning with max strength, so that when they do go to focus him, or if they do happen to catch him out, you're just giant niche, 3,000 HP Morphin through nothing, while the rest of Fnatic clean up the backline.
Yeah.
Just like how we dodged out that smoking top lane.
He is playing dangerously. They do break the Lincoln Sphere. There's the glimpse. That's on to instead the Highlight Die Slardar. They almost get the kill on the Courier. That was a really good glyph. The waveform he really wants it. He's going to find it. And they haven't even lost this Pilot Die Slardar. Yule's going to get caught with a Freeze Fire. They blink aggressively here from Fnatic trying to find Pilot Die, but Ajit's dead. The kinetic field, they couldn't actually get there in time with Skylark. They've got the stun onto him, the waveform. He does have GA and Purification, but I don't think he's going to... Yeah, he's going to have to GA and try to deny himself. And it's not going to happen. Envy gets double kill. They even pop the Elder Dragon form, so now they can really take an objective. finally the first big fight of the game. I think it goes in favor of Fnatic. Those last two engagements, and this is going to lead them into Roshan as well.
Yep, it's both times. And yeah, I feel like Clutch Gamers have already been outscored. Like, I know obviously Fnatic have a 7K gold lead now. You know, even in the previous one, right, it looked like they just have no chance. Tiny can get in there and try to burst one here. If he gets it, great. If he doesn't, then he's pretty screwed. Like, but sure, it's a fight. You know, if they're grouped up together, it's just not gonna happen.
Like, they just don't do enough damage yet, even with the Tiny. Although the Bedlam comes down and kills While I Die, but after you just get a great slide for it. And that was not the jump I don't think that you wanted to make if you're faded. Uh-oh, Envy. He actually was morphing. He did not in time, actually. And they get off the Sonic Wave. That Fade is down. Although Faded in trouble. Good Static Storm. Envy, he won't be able to morph. He's in trouble. They have the Crimson Guard coming out. Abed's about to fall as well. Breathe Fire coming in. Finally, Envy can stand and deliver. He wants to instead kill Yol. That'd be the bigger target for him to grab. It's really the only target he can actually get. But it's pretty tough. He's dookie and diving. The kinetic skill comes out. The Glimpse finally comes back in as well. That's going to be on to Universe. The Adaptive Strike getting pushed back and forth with a Lotus Orb that Skylark puts onto the Disruptor. And so that could have been a lot better for Fnatic. They get a couple kills, sure. They do lose the DK out of that fight, though.
That's the danger of sitting on circle HP against the Tiny, right? The Lincoln Sphere doesn't actually do anything to the Blink Avalanche toss. And you auto attack twice with the Echo Saber, then you toss the creep like first emitter burst.
Yeah. That's how they kill this this Morphling, but as long as like he gets this BKB, maybe gets Scotty later in the game, you know, Envy's gonna be fine. And they're still 9K ahead, and I think scaling is probably the right term. You have a Tiny and he's doing okay damage, but there's a Bloodstone on this Lestrak now. I know it took forever for DJ to get there, but he does have it, and this is gonna make it even more dangerous for these team fights for Clutch Gamers.
You're support Lestrak. Now you have the Bloodstone, you can make pretty cool plays where you deny yourself. Oh, it doesn't actually heal anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Shows how much I know.
I didn't know that until you just mentioned it, or I forgot it, I should say, until you just mentioned it. Yeah. And that was when Bloodstone was really good. Heal the entire team. Pretty strong stuff.
Fnatic, they see this.
There's the Crush, and Afternoon is just dead. If they have the Corrosive Haze, they have the True Sight. They need Skylark to be here. They do get off the Repel as well as Purification. They have Tia, they're not using it yet. They finally do pop it. Abed, they would like to get the kill on him. Crush comes out, Ajit's still trying to chase, but Abed's out of there with the Shadow Blade. He's actually going to turn back around. The Splitter comes out as a double kill for Abed, and now Skylark's going to get back into the Crush. The waveform from Envy, who took the tail end of the fight to take it. And now it's just the Queen of Pain as well as the Disruptor up without Static Storm. He actually got the glimpse. Envy stole it. And now the Disruptor's dead as well. Abed gets the triple. They have to buy back on their heroes, but now this game's starting to feel like it's becoming a little too difficult for the Clutch Gamers team. They're going to work on the rack. Although While I Die's dead, I don't think they really care. Abed trying to get back in the fight, but the Bramble Nade stopping him from doing so. Good backing for her. Wait for him. They dropped the wall too. Somehow nobody's dead. They actually got out. Sonic was just a lot of damage to the Terrorize, kind of combining up to get that kill. Abed might fall to the Bedlam actually, especially with the first round coming out. Avalanche comes in, good Flutter. He's still alive. He actually gets off the stick, but it doesn't matter. They have no way of keeping him alive otherwise. Now they're still looking for Faded. Envy needs one more auto attack. He can't find it. The Blink comes out in time for Faded. DJ misses the Splitter on to Afram. He's still looking for Skylark though. Purification does come out. He will repel, and that means a lot of that damage is going to be mitigated. Glimpse comes back in onto Envy, and as much as they wanted to get these kills and how close they weren't able to do so.
Game's pretty crazy. Fnatic do take a rack spot, but they're still not weak, right? Tiny can burst. I mean, you'd think that he couldn't be able to burst these heroes, right? Like, Starter has 1500 health, there's a Pipe and a Crimson Guard on the side of Fnatic, but 2 hits with the Echo Saber out of the Shadow Blade and the Blink Toss, then you can auto again while he's still stunned, and then Tree Toss afterwards. 4 auto attacks out of the Shadow Blade with the Tiny combo. This is an insane amount of hits. Ridiculous.
Yeah. 14K lead for this Fnatic team. Morphling is Threads, Aquila, and a Lincoln Sphere. And it still feels like he's doing so much work in these fights without the BKB, without anything else. What a hero.
Buys up full BKB now, so he's extremely strong. Universe living the no boots life. Weaver. Darkseer can get away with that.
I saw him doing this earlier, but he did build the boots way later than I thought he was going to. He does have them though. But, he didn't have them for a long time, if I remember correctly. Nice D ward. They smoke into the D ward.
Envy has that double.
Yol is dead. Yol is mega dead. And he is, well, the good news is he's only dead for 35 seconds. And when it takes grinds, I think Envy's going to find Bolt faded. Good try. He used the double damage. Is he going to go mid? What is he doing here? He wants Aframoosh. He's going to wait for his waveform, and then he's going to blow him up with auto attack adaptive spray, I think. Oh, no. Aframoosh. He knew. He knew.
He's out of there.
He's gone.
No, Fnatic have no free play.
They're going to try to get the creep wave there slowly but surely. I don't know if this is actually going to turn into anything. The DD's going to be dead soon. They do have a Satanic, interestingly enough, on this DK. Good luck killing Abed. I don't think it's a possibility anymore. Waveform, dead, Yol for 34 seconds. Skylark is here. They do get off the stun and highlight that. They'd like to get the Brave. Repel comes out from Envy. That was pretty nice. Highlight eye goes in. Waveform comes out. Envy pops the BKB going to work on a Skylark. That's the GA pops. Envy needs to be a little careful. He goes back into the item net where he's tanky. He's got to throw up the purifications and he's going to drop the repels. And his team is going to have a great old time now that they have the Elder Dragon form up. They're going to take the push onto the tier 3 tower. They really need the Static Storm to fight, and they're going to have to wait 5 seconds for him to be backed up and alive. They could blink it with the Tiny aggressively. I'm not sure if they want to, especially against Abed. Faded looking for MB, breaks the link instant. They find the stun of the Skylark. So wait for him in. Good back wall combination from the Universe. The Breeze Fire not really doing that much. They had the pipe with the Skylark. Sonic Wave's going to come out. Universe in trouble with the Static Storm, but Abed is still fighting fit. He's going to be using Satanic again. And Universe somehow survives through it all. Thunderstrike, he is actually going to live. I don't believe that. They're going to lose Faded elsewhere. The Dragon Tail coming down. Half room, he's going to fall. He's going to have to buy back. DJ is in a little too deep, but here comes Abed to help him out and pilot out with a crush. Although it does miss the repel onto Haji. Skylark's still getting run down. He's got the Dragon Tail, which actually stuns Abed. So he might not be able to get the kill. The waveform wasn't there in time for them because the purification came out. It's taking them forever, but they're going to finally finish off the racks for Fnatic. And now, you're 2 sets of racks down for Clutch Gamers. Maybe if you lose part of this engagement, like if you lose like 2 or 3 more heroes, the game just ends. But they're going to hold on for now.
Yep, you know, Envy sat at the whole team fight with 3,000 health, just sitting there, chucking out stuns the entire time, not really worried about dealing damage because they have so much damage to heroes for
Yeah, DJ would be the perfect target, and he is. He's down for 28 now. With Highlight Eye jumps, he gets the one-man stun off on the Dark Willow. Of course, Aji was repelled, so he was fine. They're still looking for Skylark. The Terrorize about to go. He keeps canceling it. Skylark, though, getting run down by Abed and Envy. If you get off the 4-man Terrorize, where's the follow-up? It's just going to push them back for now. Aji's finally going into the kinetic field. Abed and Universe in some trouble. Universe especially. He might not be able to get out the Bedlam doing a lot of that damage, but Abed is standing and delivering here with this DK doing a lot of damage. He's already used the Satanic. They've got another crush coming out. They've only killed the Disruptor for now. Envy is, I think, taking tier 4 towers, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So there's that. Can't really stop him. Aji getting run at. Faded barely survives. Aji might not be so lucky. He's repelled though, which is going to help. First crown. There's a BKB on the CK. Could easily kill Aji, but unfortunately doesn't have that item. But Envy is here. He has stolen the Omni. He's going to repel himself, and he's going to jump in and just finish off the tier 4 tower. And probably the game as well. Skylark can only really sit and watch. They'll pop the pipe onto the Ancient. Sonic Wave has come out, but he was in the Omni Knight form for it. There's the glyph. This has been a never-ending battle, and they will finally find Skylark, and he doesn't have buyback in that to do it. He's really been the hero that's been keeping the game. Maybe they get off a good static from Bedlam combination. Envy taking a lot of damage here, actually. He might be in trouble. Maybe not. Yeah, that's it. GG's called, and Fnatic will take it 2-0. I mean, just a great overall series, I think, from this team, right?
That's very, very well played from Fnatic Clutch Gamers. You know, they did play well, but not well enough to take this. Envy's more playing is fantastic.